over cashless policy. Governor Adeleke taxed Osun people over exchange balance. OSBC Fashion News X-rays the interconnectivity of fashion and personality. Court discharges acquits 55-year-old lecturer accused of rape. The Supreme Court of Nigeria has issued a restraining order to President Muhammadu Buhari to stop him from withdrawing old 200 naira, 500 naira and 1000 naira banknotes from the circulation. The Apex Court ruled that the president did not follow the provisions of the Constitution before implementing the policy by consulting the National Security Council and National Economic Council before implementation. The judgment was read by Justice Emmanuel Ajim today in the presence of Governors Nasir El-Rufai of Kaduna State, Yahaya Bello Kogi, and Bello Matawale of Zamfara, who first instituted the suit. The court faulted President Buhari's statement in his February 16 broadcast, where he said the Naira redesign was in line with global practices, noting countries like UK and Australia allowed both old and new notes to coexist for not less than 1 year. The court wrote that the old and new banknotes should be allowed to be in circulation until the year ends. Speaker House of Representatives Honorable Gbajabiamila has in the meantime said that the implementation of the cash swap policy of the federal government has been remarkably haphazard and fell short of international standards. The Speaker hailed the decision of the Supreme Court, which invalidated the deadline for the currency policy introduced by the Central Bank of Nigeria and extended it to 31st December this year. He said the policy deviated from the prior practice of the Central Bank of Nigeria without providing any benefits to the Nigerian people or the economy of Nigeria, both of which have suffered significant harm as a result. In a statement he personally signed, the Speaker said the House will exercise its authority to review the actions and inactions, the failures of law and procedure that sets the conditions for this profound failure of public policy. Meanwhile, hours after the Supreme Court's judgment on the disruptive monetary policy of the federal government and the Central Bank of Nigeria, the ruling All Progressives Congress (APC) in the northwestern part of the nation has called for immediate resignation of Attorney General and Minister of Justice Malam Abubakar Malami and the Governor of the Apex Bank, Godwin Emefiele. APC National Vice Chairman Northwest Salihu Lukman, on behalf of leaders of the party in the zone, in a statement today said the two public officers wrongly advised President Muhammadu Buhari and the federal government into implementing the anti-people monetary policy, stressing that two of them should resign immediately. In a landmark judgment today, the Supreme Court declared the federal government's cashless policy as unconstitutional and violation of the fundamental rights of Nigerians as provided under the 1999 Nigerian Constitution as amended. Reacting to the judgment, leaders and members of the ruling party expressed delight at the court's decision after weeks of hardship suffered by Nigerians following the implementation of the monetary policy. The Monetary Policy Committee of the Central Bank of Nigeria, CBN, says Nigerian banks offered their customers about 130,854 new credits valued at 974.46 billion naira in December 2022. Adeola Adenikinju, a member of the Monetary Policy Committee, MPC, stated this at the last MPC meeting. Adenikinju said that the banking ecosystem assets increased by 14.36 trillion naira, while industry credits spiked by 5.14 trillion naira in 2022. He said there was an uptick in the maximum lending rate from 28.14% to 29%. CBN's action leads to a cash crunch. The development comes amid the Naira redesign policy of the CBN, which caused a crash crunch in the country. According to data obtained from the Apex Bank, this represents a drop of 1.91 trillion naira in 3 months. The move is due to the Naira redesign plans of the CBN announced by Godwin Emefiele in October last year. The federal government has declared that 1.9 million vulnerable Nigerians are currently receiving 5,000 naira cash gifts every month. The Minister of Humanitarian Affairs, Disaster Management and Social Development, Hajia Sadia Farouk, stated this at a one-day stakeholders retreat on National Social Investment Establishment Bill organized by the Senate Committee on Social Duties. Hajia Farouk was represented on the occasion by the Ministry's Permanent Secretary, Dr. Nasir Sani Gwazo. The minister explained that the objective of the National Social Investment Program Establishment Bill is to provide a statutory and institutional framework for the implementation of the National Social Investment Program, NSIP. She noted that the NSIP was created in 2016 by President Muhammadu Buhari's administration to address social and economic inequalities and alleviate poverty among Nigerians. This is the news across the country, coming to you from Osun State Broadcasting Corporation, Voice of the West, Nigeria. Now, a mid-news message. It's good to judge than to war. Endeavor to adopt negotiation to solve issues rather than confrontation. The way an individual dresses says a lot about the kind of person one is. It also helps to reveal one's desires and interests. OSBC Fashion News discusses how fashion makes an individual's character by showing the interconnectedness between fashion and personality. Let's join Daniel Ikwiri for more details.
While most individuals find it easy to conform to other people's fashion, it is extremely important for people to identify what suits them best and incorporate that into their own style to distinguish their personality. In fashion, being different is an important aspect because it helps individual personalities to stand out. Although it takes time to develop one's style and fashion, it is important for individuals to be in a position to say who they are through their dressing. Having individual dress code helps in boosting one's self-confidence and brings comfort. When it comes to fashion and personality, one's image is highly dependent on how an individual dresses on a regular basis because people learn to associate you with the kind of fashion one embraces. People who are dramatic and casual like to make strong fashion statements and also tend to be stunning and attention-seeking. These kind of personalities choose bold colors and unique jewelries to match their outfits. They tend to wear fashionable clothing and overshadow other people. For individuals with a serious personality, they prefer to have a classic look. They choose clothes with straight lines, neutral colors such as gray, white, and black, and wear flat shoes to give their outfit a classic feel. This is what makes them stand out and get people's attention at first glance. In addition, this kind of fashion portrays people with very strong personality, focused and in control. This personality likes simple accessories and are conservative in nature. OSBC Fashion News sought the opinion of Adeoti Adelegon, who said that individual fashion says a lot about the personality of an individual.
I feel like the way the person dress individually really tells a lot about the type of person they are. In terms of their preference and their style, it really tells a lot about the type of impact the Western dressing has on them and everybody. I don't know if you get what I'm saying. Most people in this generation, they still prefer to dress the unconventional way. I tell a lot about them, about their personality in the sense that they value their culture and their cultural way. Just like the elderly people or the older ones in this generation, they still wear traditional wears. That's where that, I'm the Yoruba, I'm the Igbo. And you really see that for their personality, they like their culture, the tribe they belong to. And I just...
While speaking with Ubong and Ifiok, he said that the way an individual dresses goes a long way to how they will be addressed.
A person dressing speaks about the person's personality, in the sense that it's an adage that says how you dress is how people will address you. Because people tend to respect people based on how they look, based on their appearance, based on how well dressed they are. I mean, you probably give somebody that is on suits, on tie, shoes, dressed well, his appearance is well good looking, that somebody who comes outside and is looking tattered is not looking well taken care of. Your appearance is a definition of who you are as a person, both on the inside and the outside, because it's how you take care of yourself, it's how you dress. People always tend to address you. Your appearance tells a lot about the person. You can tell a lot about the person by how the persons appear. You will know somebody who is homely, who takes care of his environment, who is calm, who is gentle, based on how they appear, because how they appear is how they take care of themselves. And then you see people who look shabby, whose appearance says a lot about who they are as a person. So your appearance says a lot about you. Your dress code says a lot about you as a person.
When blending fashion with personality, it is important to choose clothes that match one's body shape. Clothes should highlight on one's strong point and conceal physical faults. The fashion any individual decides to go with should reveal one's desires, interests, ambition, and background. Everybody is unique in terms of personality and interest, and therefore it is important for a person to wear what emphasizes who they are. Daniel Ekwere reporting for OSBC Fashion News.
Nigeria's electoral umpire, the Independent National Electoral Commission (INEC), says the supplementary elections will be fixed after the governorship and state houses of assembly elections across the country. The Commission's National Commissioner and Chairman Information and Voter Education Committee, Festus Okoye, disclosed this in a statement. According to him, the Commission is aware that in some senatorial districts and federal constituencies, declarations and returns were not made. The Commission is therefore compiling the list of the affected constituencies. Mr. Okoye gave the assurance that the governorship and state assembly elections will hold on Saturday, March 11th, alongside the postponed elections in Enugu and Edo states. Osun State Governor Senator Ademola Adeleke has warned against incitement, political violence, and any other conduct that may breach the peace the state is currently experiencing, adding that the state needs peace at all times. Speaking while addressing stakeholders and leaders of the People's Democratic Party at his residence, Governor Adeleke commended the massive support for PDP in the last Saturday's election, calling on all political parties to continue to maintain the peace as democracy is about making choices at the polling stations. Governor Adeleke called on people to remain peaceful and avoid political violence in the countdown to March 11th state election. In reference to last Saturday's election, Governor Adeleke said, "There is no winner, no vanquish," calling on voters to prepare again for the exercise of their fundamental human rights come March 11th. The meeting was attended by key leaders of the PDP in Osun State. The grand finale of the programs marking the 100 days in office of Governor Ademola Adeleke hosts on Monday. A statement signed on behalf of Osun State Head of Service Anyoleye Aina indicates that the event will feature unveiling Osun State ICT and Digital Economy Policy and unveiling of the State Science, Technology and Innovation STI Policy. Other events lined up for the grand finale ceremony include presentation of Osun State Google Mapping Report to Governor Ademola Adeleke, inauguration of Osun Technology, Innovation and Digital Economy Advisory Board, and signing of the letter presenting the first executive bill on Osun Startups Act to the State Assembly. To this end, the State Head of Service has directed all accounting officers of ministries, departments and agencies to attend the programs with all their officers and staff from grade level 10 and above. According to the release, heads of local government and their directors, heads of state-owned tertiary institutions and other non-ministerial departments are expected to attend the program as a matter of duty. Lagos State government has confirmed that Whitney Adeniran, the lay student of Christland schools in Okpebi, Ikeja, died from electrocution. The school had said 12-year-old Whitney slumped and passed away during the school's inter-house sports competition at Agege Stadium. However, the parents punctured the claim, stressing that their daughter was in a good health condition when the school bus picked her that morning. Lagos authorities in mid-February ordered the closure of the school pending the completion of investigation. Attorney General and Commissioner for Justice Miyosore Onigbanjo has now announced the result of the autopsy. Onigbanjo said the post-mortem report dated 1st of March 2023 was issued by the Lagos State University Teaching Hospital. In the meantime, Justice Adekunle Adeleye of Ado-Ekiti High Court has discharged and acquitted a 55-year-old university lecturer, Dr. Ayinde Olukayode, of alleged rape. Dr. Olukayode, who lectures at the Ekiti State University EXU, has been standing trial on the alleged offense of rape contrary to the provisions of Section 31C of the Child Rights Law, Cap C7, Laws of Ekiti State 2012. The lecturer, who was arraigned on March 7, 2022, had pleaded not guilty to the allegation of raping a 12-year-old girl, names withheld, in August 2020. In his judgment, Adeleye held that the prosecution witnesses had created doubt in the mind of the court with the discrepancies in the evidence. The judge said the prosecution had failed to prove the case beyond reasonable doubt. He therefore discharged and acquitted Olukayode of the offense of rape for insufficient claims. The national under-20 national male football team, the Flying Eagles, have qualified for the FIFA Under-20 World Cup in Indonesia. Adeyemi Abodere has more on sports updates.
Nigeria's national under-20 team, the Flying Eagles, overpowered Uganda in the quarter-final match at the ongoing African Cup of Nations under-20 tournament in Egypt to book a ticket to the FIFA Under-20 World Cup in Indonesia. The 1-0 victory over Uganda not only gave them a ticket to the FIFA Under-20 World Cup, but also a chance for a podium finish in the semi-finals. Nigeria were in front after only 30 minutes through an own goal deflected in by Uganda's defender Juma, overshot from a Nigerian striker. The 7-time African champions then launched onslaught after onslaught on Uganda's goal, but failed to add to the tally. Nigeria awaited the winner of the quarter-final game between Gambia and South Sudan in the semi-final. Meanwhile, Sport Minister Sunday Dare has commended Nigeria's under-20 men's team, the Flying Eagles, for picking a ticket to the FIFA Under-20 World Cup later this year and reaching the semi-finals of the ongoing CAF Under-20 African Cup of Nations in Egypt. Flying Eagles edged out Uganda 1-0 to qualify for the semi-finals of the CAF Under-20 African Cup of Nations and also secure their bet at the FIFA Under-20 World Cup taking place in Indonesia in May. The minister, while commending the team for meeting the target set for them by the ministry and the Nigerian Football Federation, charged them to now shift their focus to winning the CAF Under-20 trophy. In the meantime, head coach of the Flying Eagles, Ledan Boso, has shifted his focus on bringing the trophy home after qualifying for the semi-finals and booking a spot at the forthcoming Under-20 FIFA World Cup in Indonesia. Boso maintained that his boys are capable of winning for Nigeria for the 8th time the African Under-20 Cup of Nations. Speaking after the match against Uganda, Boso urged Nigerians to continue to pray and support, saying the team knows what is at stake. The Flying Eagles duo of Solomon Agbalaka and Ibrahim Mohammed have had their goals during the group stages nominated for the top 5 goals. The duo's goals, which were included in the goal highlight, were placed third and fourth in a 1 minute 33 seconds video broadcast by CAF Online. Solomon Agbalaka's thunderous header in the 78th minute of the Flying Eagles' 1-0 victory over the tournament host, Egypt, and Ibrahim Mohammed's goal against Mozambique in the final group stage encounter rounded off the team's nominations. Super Eagles and Napoli striker Victor Osimhen has expressed his admiration for the English Premier League, revealing that he might end up playing in England someday. The Nigerian international has been amazing this season for Napoli, scoring 19 goals in the Serie A. His performance has drawn the attention of European top clubs, including Chelsea and Manchester United. Sport Update returns tomorrow. My name is Adeyemi Abodere.
To end the news across the country, here are the major points. Harassed after the Supreme Court's judgment on the disruptive monetary policy of the federal government and the Central Bank of Nigeria, the ruling All Progressives Congress (APC) in the Northwest has called for immediate resignation of Attorney General and Minister of Justice Malam Abubakar Malami and the Governor of the Apex Bank, Godwin Emefiele. Osun State Governor Senator Ademola Adeleke has warned against incitement, political violence, and any other conduct that may breach the peace of the state, adding that the state needs peace at all times. OSBC Fashion News x-rayed the interconnectedness of fashion and personality. Justice Adekunle Adeleye of Ado-Ekiti High Court has discharged and acquitted a 55-year-old university lecturer, Dr. Ayinde Olukayode, of alleged rape. And that was the news across the country, edited by Temitope Olajuwola. For more about us, visit www.osbcng.org. Thanks for listening. Good evening.
It's entertaining. It's educating. Really informative. Quantitative news as it brings.